worth mentioning. And a recent study from Best Friends Animal Society, they discovered the total number of cats and dogs killed in America's shelters for a year is around 800,000. That's a staggering number, but when you break it down, that's about 2,200 every day. Now, what can we do to help lower this number?
Yeah, it's a real challenge in the rescue world. You know, it should be something that's important to so many people, and I know that most people out there do care about animal welfare. People generally want animals to be okay. And one thing that we really can do that so many more people could be doing is fostering, where they open their home to an animal, whether it's a dog or cat. You bring an animal home for a little bit of time, you treat it like your own, you take good care of it, and you bring it back to the shelter or, you know, the rescue group's veterinarian for medical care, so it doesn't cost the same as having your own pet, but you are able to have that great feeling of taking care of an animal, and they need you because you are providing them with shelter, food, water, care until that animal gets adopted, and thus you're alleviating the animal, not only the animal's stress from the shelter life, but you're also providing an open space, an open kennel, so that another needy dog can be put in there and won't have to be euthanized for lack of space.
Right. Now, you're in New York City. Out of all the places in America, how did you guys come to partner with us here in Nashville?
I was at a conference last year with Best Friends Animal Society and was chatting with somebody who happened to be in Nashville. She does a lot of work in the Tennessee region for animal rescue. And I explained to her that we have this really cool database, an online program called a foster roster, and it helps us collect people, enter their information, anyone who wants to, and we are able to target people when they apply with information about available foster dogs near them. So we started that in New York City, and a rescue group will tell us, hey, we have these dogs that need these types of homes, and then we'll reach out to applicants who would be appropriate for those dogs and say, here are great opportunities for you. Here are next steps that you should take. And we wanted to be able to do that somewhere outside of New York City where there was a desire, a need for this type of experience, type of free offering. So we connected with the shelter director for Metro Nashville Animal Care and Control. Her name is Lauren, and she was so enthusiastic about this idea where we would take our database and it would be used as basically a common application for the shelter in Nashville. This is the city shelter. And while they have a very active volunteer base, and they have a lot of people excited about fostering for them, they don't quite have the community support that they should. And I think that both Lauren and I were discussing ways to build a community and encourage more people to foster, particularly the medium and large dogs at the shelter who constantly get overlooked for small dogs, puppies. It's a challenge when, you know, somebody might just not be asked, but then we really need to put a dog into a foster home. We just need to make that connection.
Do you think you guys may go to other Tennessee cities in the future?
I would love to. It seems like there's such a need, not just in the Nashville or Tennessee area, all over the country. If we can see that this program grows in a positive way and continues to expand, we only just started, and we really are, this is our first city outside of New York City.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so we would love to be able to expand to other cities, other states in coming years, absolutely.
So you mentioned the foster roster, so that's cool, but I want to know about the corporate puppy parties. How does that work?
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. We've been able to go into businesses and bring dogs who are currently in foster care. So we basically sort of throw this happy little puppy party, very low tech, very fun, and just a sweet vibe of bringing an adoptable dog into an office space. And in return, we receive a donation, so that supports our efforts to run these life-saving programs like So when we bring the puppies in, they're playing with people for a little while. You know, they have the opportunity to get adopted, meet by more people, get socialized, you know, have fun new pictures, and hopefully, you know, if they don't find a home at the adoption event, they can still be promoted on social media, and the people who are at the event can still spread the word about those adoptable dogs.
Have you ever thought about maybe dressing them up in a little tuxedo or something? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, we can really have a lot of fun with it. I mean, right now they just wear bandanas, but why not?
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well, yeah. Well, I guess it depends on the breed.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll look into it.
I think that's great because, you know, you bring them in and into an environment, you know, let's face it, when you're at work, you know, sometimes there's some stress and you have deadlines to hit, but it never fails when you bring a puppy or a dog into a workplace. Every time it happens here where I work, everybody just like, oh, they start baby talking, and it's kind of like, you know, this gruff person you never thought was, you know, had an ounce of sympathy